Are you looking to hit round 100 on Mauer or Toten on Black Ops Cold War Zombies? Well, then today's video is for you. Hello there, my name is Justin from Day Night, and today we're going to be walking you through the strategy, the build, and everything that leads up to going from round 1 to round 100 on Mauer or Toten. This is a third video on the Cold War maps that we've done for this type of a series, so if you're new around here, please consider giving us a subscribe as we do upload daily in terms of, zombies content, shorts, stream VODs, etc. But diving into this strategy, we're going to go round by round and try to show you the pathing at the very beginning to get you set up in case you've never played the map before, and then we'll probably jump around a little bit to show you the actual strategy for the later rounds. So let's dive right into it. Loading into the map, I start off with the Gallo, as I like starting off with a shotgun to help deal with those early game boss zombies like the Tempests, and it's just a very quick killing gun. However, most of our kills are going to be with melee, just to maximize our points in the early rounds. But I'm going to spend about rounds 1 through 6 until the last zombie of round 6 in the starting room, as I do with most of the Cold War maps. And then we'll start traversing the map, so I'll see you guys on round 6, and you can just follow my pathing as I navigate through the map. Entering this building should cause your first Tempest to spawn in, and killing him will get you your first fuse for the power. He can either spawn in the building or outside of it. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the Gallo really helps with the beginning of this game, and we're just going to grab that and then continue following my pathing downwards. Big warning, or see me shake my head at it. That door that we just looked at, do not open the door. This is going to be your high round room later on, and you don't want zombies coming in your back. Okay? You see me shake your head at the door. Do not open that door. The second Tempest is beyond that door, but you can actually get to him by going around. It's kind of tedious in the early game. However, once you reach those high rounds, you're going to want a back that you don't have to worry about. No zombies spawning in behind you and only in front of you. It's going to make training easier when the zombies get stockpiled up, and it's going to make just keeping them at bay with the Cerberus a lot easier. So again, if you follow my pathing, you'll get to the second Tempest. Killing him will drop the second fuse that you need. You just need to take this back to the power switch, put the fuses in, flip the power, and you'll have the power on ready to go. Next, you're going to need to head up to the surface and turn on the Pack-a-Punch by doing a little lockdown sequence. That's over very quickly with the Gallo. After interacting with the Pack-a-Punch machine, we're going to buy this debris just to have it ready to go. Then we're going to run over to this pile, wait for all the zombies to be initiated by the guy right there. You're just going to shoot him down real quick. It'll despawn the zombies that just spawned in, and then you can take them out at your leisure. While you're waiting for that, you can start digging in these dig piles over here. Just don't make sure not to get caught by the spotlight, as a machine gun turret will start to fire upon you. We are looking for a gold satellite dish to build Klaus, but I'll show you that here in a second. Oh, also while you're at it, you need to get brain rot on your shotgun. That way we can open up the secret room to get access to the safe. That way we can get our free Cerberus. Otherwise, you can just spin the mystery box or true trials. But for this tutorial and for my game specifically, I like a guaranteed method of getting the Cerberus. So we're going to be going over how to build the Cerberus in this video, just to make sure you guys are 100% guaranteed to get them. Just follow my pathing and you'll lead yourself to the room. You just need to turn a zombie with brain rot, and then he'll hit the boards down. You'll have access to the extra room. It's going to be this one right here. Plus, you will need that for building Klaus later on as well. Once in the room, you can remove the hands in a very particular position. And then you can head out of this room and then start spinning the rounds. You could either be doing trials in the meantime, or you could just be killing zombies. I take my time to go down, change out my brain rot for Shatter Blast. I buy stamina up for the movement speed. And we are just going to train zombies, getting melee kills to maximize your points as much as possible. We are rolling the rounds until round 10 when we get a Panzer. The first Panzer is going to drop a battery to build Klaus. In the meantime, too, you can go back to digging in those dig spots until you get the satellite dish for building Klaus as well. Now with round 10 starting up, again, passively buying perks, getting melee kills, point maximizing as much as possible. With round 10 coming up, you're going to have a Panzer rolling in, again with your purple Gallo if you've beaten all the Easter eggs, or if not, the Gallo is very strong as well. Having something like Deadshot Daiquiri is very strong for the critical hits, and having Shatter Blast is very well. Shatter Blast is just good for horde control in general, but it's also great against Panzers. As you're going to see, this man just gets obliterated. So you're just going to pick up that battery, you're going to head downstairs, and we'll build Klaus after we've thinned out the zombies a little bit. We need Klaus to open up a locker to reveal a black light so that we can get the safe combination to get our free Cerberus. So I'll see you guys here in a minute. Alrighty, after one horde of zombies dealt with, we're going to take this zip line in that area you were training in. Down to here, you're going to be able to activate Klaus, go just a few little steps down the hallway, and then use your L1 interact button to point him at the locker code. It does take it a second for the L1 to trigger, because right now we have decoys, but you'll see it pop up in your lower right-hand corner once it's ready to go. I usually keep the zombie alive, but then again, Klaus is going to kill him anyways, so you could kill the zombie, it's up to you. But yeah, you just navigate him to the locker, he'll punch it, and that'll get you your black lights. So then you can be able to shine that in 3 different locations to get the safe code to get your free Cerberus Wonder Weapon. And we'll go there here in a minute. The second safe combination number will be in this room, as indicated by that number 2 next to the ladder. So we're just going to kill zombies. Looking over the walls, you see right there, 37 is number 2 on the safe combination. So like I'm doing here, you can pause, you can write it in your phone. If you're playing with a friend, you can, just say it a couple of times repeatedly to remember it. I just have very poor memory, so I usually pause to write it in on my phone, and then you can move on to the rest of the codes. Code number 3 is in this room, as indicated by that number 3. Can be on the walls, in the shelves, and it can get pretty dicey doing this in the middle of a round, so I don't recommend doing it. I was just getting anxious for the Cerberus. I love the Cerberus. It is one of my favorite weapons of all time. But I did realize that it was getting pretty spicy in there, so you can back out, kill some zombies, thin out the horde a little bit, and then come back. One horde of zombies dealt with, and we're back here. It's going to be number 24 right there, so that again, you can pause your game, write it in, and since we've already thinned out the horde, we can go straight to our number 1 position safe code, which is right over here. Again, as indicated on that wall that we just saw earlier, this is the number 1 code, and I do struggle with all of these spawn locations because I don't play Mauer as much as I used to. I used to have all of them memorized, but if you just scan up and down the wall with the black light, you'll find it. There it is right there. So you just take a jot of that, then you can go over to that safe in that secret room that we unlocked earlier, which is conveniently right around the corner from here. Type in your code. While you're typing in the code, the zombies won't bother you, and then you'll get your free Cerberus Wonder Weapon. Interacting with the safe and eventually turning the handle after you've typed in all 3 of your codes will allow you to get your free Cerberus Wonder Weapon. Again, the zombies will leave you alone while you are typing in the code, and it is a little particular. Sometimes it looks like it's dead on, and it's clearly not, so taking a few tries is totally fine. Open the safe, and you get your free Wonder Weapon. We are pretty much all the way there. We just need to get the rest of our perks. We need to get Tier 3 Pack-a-Punch on the Cerberus, and then we just need to start saving up salvage. Just like the rest of our round 100 guides we've done in the past, we're going to be utilizing the Casimir grenades, Semtex grenades with PhD, and some other form of field upgrade. In this map, we use the War Machine. So we're going to be utilizing a lot of salvage, so perks like Death Perception to get you extra salvage, Milk Kick to get you free equipment once you buy equipment. Perks like those are going to be beautiful for this, and we are going to need to save up a bunch of salvage. So for me personally, while I'm still buying the perks, pack-punching my weapon, and then giving salvage, I train in this little tank area here. It's very open. If you have something like the Cerberus, you're not going to go down at all. It's going to be pretty convenient to get out of a sticky situation. Plus, if you have stuff like Stamina Up and PhD to increase your movement speeds and your movement capabilities, you'll be just fine training in this area. Plus, again, like you just saw, if you still have your Gallo with Shatter Blast, that just takes the whole horde out immediately. with our tier 3 pack-a-punch and our perks, we just need to buy all the things, all the equipment we need to use the salvage for, and head down to our camping area. On round 26, camping in the area is going to be very easy with Cerberus, and you probably won't need to depend on equipment or Ring of Fire as much, but as the rounds progress, you will need to. I try to hold out as long as I can without depending on equipment. Usually around rounds 45 to 50 is when I start to really need to utilize equipment. And then probably rounds 70 to 80 is when equipment usage gets pretty easy. It starts paying for itself with how many zombies you're killing, so you can start to become more lazy with your equipment usage. But this is going to be the spot here. There are 2 windows, one to your left, one to your right, and the zombies can come down through the hallway as well. You're just going to need to monitor those 2 windows and just fire away with the Cerberus. This thing is got a great fire rate, great damage. It's a ray gun with no splash damage, but again, you have PhD anyways, so that doesn't really matter. If you get caught up, you have your Casimirs, you have your Semtexes, you have a War Machine, and you have PhD. So again, no explosive splash damage. So you'll be just fine camping in this area for another 20-ish rounds, and then we'll be able to start getting into the first strategy. Not a perfect example, but this is the first timestamp I'd like to throw where the strategy is kicking in. We're looking at round 64. This is past when zombies are becoming super sprinters, and we're going to starting to utilize our equipment. But the zombie amount isn't as much to warrant a very extensive strategy. So we're going to start the rounds with a Casimir grenade, as we don't have a Ring of Fire, as we do with a lot of these strategies. What's nice is the workbench is right next to you, so if you run out of Casimirs, you can throw one and buy one within the time that the Casimir is going off. But we're going to watch it go. Once it clicks off, we're going to activate Ring of Fire and start blasting those 2 sides as much as we can, toggling back and forth with the Cerberus. And if you feel yourself starting to get tied down with zombies or they're getting a little too close, you can throw Semtexes while shooting the Cerberus, and again, you're not going to take any damage because of PhD. So we're just going to blast away, and then as soon as our Ring of Fire is over, we need to leave the circle and start training. When I'm training, I'm going to switch over to the War Machine and then blast the zombies. If there are multiple waves of zombies, then you might need to do it multiple times, but for us on 64, it was only once. Alright, now let's look at the later rounds when the salvage essentially pays for itself, as you see me running over this just mass heap of salvage. So we can afford to be more lazy with our strategy, need to train a little bit less and use a little bit more equipment. It is very similar to the earlier rounds though. We do start the round off with a Casimir. If need be, while the Casimir is going off, I will sometimes shoot boss zombies, like, manglers and whatnot, to try to thin those out, because they can sometimes be a little bit of a hassle. But just like the last strategy, once the Casimir kicks off, we're going to use Ring of Fire, using Semtexes if we feel a little bit tied down with zombies, or we can just charge a Casimir in our other hand and wait to throw it. Once the Ring of Fire is done, instead of training with the War Machine, we can just release the left trigger, or the L1, because we started holding it down while we were shooting the Cerberus here, and as you see right there, I throw the Casimir. I'm still shooting other boss zombies just in case, but this is going to charge up a Ring of Fire again. So once this concludes, same thing, charge Ring of Fire again, and start firing away at those 2 spots. It's just rinse and repeat. And again, on these later rounds, your salvage will pay for itself. So you can afford to be a little bit more lazy. But on the earlier rounds, instead of throwing the second Casimir after the Ring of Fire, you will start training in a small little banana, little semicircle type thing with the War Machine, and just kill zombies with explosive damage. But yeah, there was round 98. I chose round 98 because round 99, which is very lucky, ended up being the dog round for Mar&Justin. So that is going to be basically our round 100. If you are new around here and like what you see, please consider giving us a subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, we upload daily in terms of, zombies content, other forms of content, stream VODs, shorts. We kind of got you covered in all aspects of life. And if you do like this round 100 and are interested in pursuing another round 100, then this next video is for you. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and we will see you all on the next video. Take care, my friends.